Welcome students. Today we are going to discuss the next unit of course turbo machines, that is centrifugal compressor. In last unit we have completed the centrifugal pump, which is basically the power absorbing turbo machine which increase the pressure of water, or which is supply the pressure of water, then the water can transfer from one point to the another point. Just like the centrifugal pump, we have to study now the centrifugal compressor. The centrifugal compressor uses air as a medium or air as a fluid. These are the contents of this unit. In the first case, in first point, we are going to discuss the basic construction and working. Then we are going for the velocity triangle analysis for the turbo centrifugal compressor. In that, after drawing the velocity triangle, we are going to derive an equation for work done by the impeller. Then we are going to discuss, or we are going to calculate the mass flow rate in the centrifugal compressor. Then we are going to study what is a slip in centrifugal compressor. Remember, to draw the velocity triangle analysis, or to draw the velocity triangle, first of all, it is very essential to understand its construction and working. Though it is similar to the previous turbo machines, but there are certain extra features or extra components in the centrifugal compressor that we are going to discuss. As in centrifugal compressor, we are dealing with the air that is, which is a compressible fluid. So we have to do some thermodynamic analysis also. And in this unit, we are going to calculate what is the static and total yield properties. Again, we are to discuss what is a TS diagram for the compression process, because we are going to compress the air. This means we are going to increase the pressure of the air. So definitely there is increasing temperature as well as the entropy. So we have to study the TS diagram also. Then we are going to calculate the isentropic efficiency and isentropic work done by using this TS diagram and basic thermodynamic definitions. Okay, so we'll try to cover the thermodynamic analysis. Then we are going to have some performance parameters, which is again important and which is different than the previous units. In up to the last unit, which are the hydraulic machines, basically we are not dealing with these performance parameters, but now we are dealing with the air machines or air turbo machines. So we have to need to calculate what is the slip factor, what is the power input factor, and pressure coefficient. So we are going to discuss and what is the relation among these parameters. Again, there is a lot of effect of the blade angles and pre-whirling of the on the performance of the centrifugal compressor. So we are going to discuss very interesting thing, that is pre-whirling. Okay, so I have divided this unit into three sections. The first section, this one, basically up to the velocity triangle. It is usually you know these things. Okay, then we are going to do the second section, that is thermodynamic analysis, and this is the third section. So we will cover this unit section by section. So we will start with the first topic, that is construction and working. So basically, what do you mean by centrifugal compressor? We know that the pumps and compressor are power absorbing turbo machines in which energy is supplied by the outside or by some external source, and again the energy being imparted by the machine to the fluid. The fluid may be the water in case of the pump, and that fluid may be the air in case of the compressor, by means of impeller. Okay, and we are supplying the mechanical energy basically from outside, and we are applying the energy to the fluid by means of the impeller or action of the blade. Then this gain in energy by the fluids in both end pumps rise in static pressure. It is also called as the pressure energy, and it is a rise in kinetic energy. It is also called as the high flow velocity. So in both cases, we are getting the energy conversion from mechanical energy to the pressure plus kinetic energy. These devices are exactly opposite to the reaction turbines. Okay, so basically centrifugal compressor is a device which compresses the air by means of supplying the energy from the external source and imparting on a fluid, and the compressor uses the air. Now these are the very basic application of the centrifugal compressor. Okay, so this compressor can be used in small gas turbine power plant. In figure we can see over here there is a small gas turbine power plant. This gas turbine power plant basically used to generate the power sources, or it can be used as engine also. Okay, and to compress the fluid which are going to combust, we are going to combust in the next section. Okay, to create a jet propulsion, or to create we can say the power source, to rotate the generator over here. To compress the air we can use the centrifugal compressor. We can see here the small portion. Okay, we can use this particular compressor in turbojet engine, turboprop engine and turbofan engine. This total part we are going to cover in detail in unit number 6. In this case we just remember over here these are the some application of the centrifugal compressor. Then about the construction. In the construction part, the centrifugal compressor have first one, the stationary casing. Basically this compressor consists of valve type casing. Okay, valve type casing having the gradually increasing area. Okay, it is having the gradually increasing area. Then second part, that is rotating part, is impeller. The main function of this impeller, in this case we have shown the radial vanes here, but depending upon the application we can use the backward vane or forward vane also, just like your centrifugal pump. So in this case the function of the impeller to impart the energy to the fluid, that is the air, to be for the compression. Then along with the impeller we are having the next new section or new part in the turbo machine is called as a diffuser. Diffuser is basically the wheel or ring having this fixed vanes mounted on the particular at a separate distance or at some distance apart. Okay, and which having the gradually increasing area from inlet to the outlet. We can see there is a gradually increasing area from inlet to the outlet. We can see this particular section also, in this section also. Okay, these are the diffuser rings over here. This is the sectional view and this is the impeller. And then this particular centrifugal compressor generally used for the large quantity of air with a low pressure, and it is a pressure ratio up to the 4 can be obtained. And if you use the series or multi compressor system, then we can go for the 10 pressure ratio also. Okay, or multiple stage we can attain the pressure ratio up to 10 also. Then which is a very important part, working of centrifugal compressor. In this case we have to rotate this impeller. By means of supplying external mechanical energy, means by means of the motor. When this impeller start rotating, what will happen? When this impeller start rotating like this is the angular motion. Okay, the suction pressure is created at the near to the eye of the impeller, and then the atmospheric air get sucked inside at this impeller eye. Okay, and this impeller is simultaneously in motion, means angular motion. It is rotating with constant RPM or constant angular velocity omega. Okay, and here enters at this particular impeller eye. At the entry we can see here these are the blades mounted over here. Okay, and these blades are quite having the quite different shape. Okay, it having the specified shape. We can see it's a kind of aerofoil shape up to this section. Again it's a curve shape at the end. Okay, so this aerofoil shape and curve shape at the end is generally using for the increasing the pressure energy or to transferring the pressure energy. The same kind of blade we have seen, if you remember, we have studied in case of the Francis turbine also. In that case we have to take the pressure energy from the fluid. Now in this case we have to apply the pressure energy to the fluid. Means whenever there is exchange of pressure energy, we have to take the aerofoil shape of blade and the curve shape, means like this. Then here is get inside this passage of this particular impeller bed, and we can see at the entry of the impeller bed over here the area is quite less, and then area is getting increases as air passes from this inlet to the outlet of the impeller. This is the inlet of the impeller blade and this is the outlet of the impeller blade. Okay, and then simultaneously this particular impeller also getting rotated. Okay, and then this particular air is, after coming out of the impeller, after taking the energy from this impeller bed, then it is transferred to this particular diffuser fan rings. And we can see here there is sudden increasing area. okay, the area is again increases. So due to increasing area, pressure getting increases of the air. Okay, yes. There might have question in the steam turbine also studied that there is a quite relation, means there is a relationship between the Mach number and the compressible fluid. Okay, and so in this case we are dealing with the Mach number is less than 1, and we know that if the Mach number is less than 1, then the nature or pressure and velocity variation in compressible and incompressible are the same. So whatever the increasing area over here results in a increasing pressure. Okay, and these diffuser vanes are the steady one. Only motion part is what? Impeller. In this way we can get this particular compressor over here, and then this compressor we can store in some reservoir. Okay, basically we can call it as cylinder. Got it? We'll try to understand why this compressor is called as centrifugal compressor, because reciprocating compressor you know, and the compressor generally you are observing at the pumping station to fill the air in the tire of the vehicles. That is a reciprocating compressor basically, and below that there is a big cylinder to store the compressor. But why this particular compressor is called as a centrifugal compressor? If you take the element of this particular air in between the passage of the blade, we can see this element of the air, small element of the air, is acted upon the two velocities. One is the angular velocity and one is this particular radial velocity. Okay, and due to this angular velocity and radial velocity and this typical type of shape of the blade, what is the shape of the blade? Initially it's a aerofoil, then it's a curve shape at the end, and due to this thing the air element is acted by some centripetal acceleration. Okay, it can observe some pressure at this point, at the outlet point, at the entry point also, and it is acted upon some centripetal acceleration, and the variation of the centripetal acceleration, there is a increase in the pressure head. It's just like the vortex flow principle. Okay, so there is a rise in pressure, and that's why due to the centrifugal action of centrifugal force we are getting the compression, means compressed air at the outlet. That's why this device is called as centrifugal compressor. So we'll try to study the from this figure also what is the pressure and velocity variation at the inlet. Let's say first one is the pressure at the inlet of the impeller. Pressure is lower, then its pressure getting increases due to transfer of energy, rotation of the due to the rotation of impeller, and then there is a rise in pressure delta P2 also in the diffuser section. These 2 points at the outlet of the impeller and inlet of the diffuser, and this 3 point is the outlet of the diffuser, and due to sudden increasing area there is a pressure rise, and we can see velocity changes also. Delta V1 velocity is increased velocity at the impeller, because we know that initially both pressure energy and kinetic energy will get increased. Okay, and then in the diffuser section there is a, due to sudden increasing area the velocity get drop. Okay, but it is not it's still more than the initial velocity. Okay, but it is kind of some drop, and at the expense of this drop of velocity we will get the rise in pressure. So delta V2 is the decreasing velocity in the diffuser. In this way we are getting the compressed air, okay, in the centrifugal compressor. In the compressor generally come up with the two configuration. We can use the single eye impeller also, double eye impeller also. In single eye of impeller there is a entry at the only one side, but in double eye impeller we can get the air entry from the both side, and here we'll get the compressor on the both side also. Okay, so advantage of double eye impeller is only that we can have the balance axial forces. Okay, so generally we can use any one of it, either single eye impeller or the double eye impeller. Then similar to the pump, we are having the three types of the vane using in the centrifugal compressor. First one is the impeller with the straight vane, it is also called as a radial vane. Then impeller with the backward curve vane and impeller with the forward curve vanes. Okay, when concavity of the vanes are opposite to the rotation of the wheel or impeller, it's called as a backward curve. We can say this is a convex part in the direction of the vane and concave part in the opposite direction, and opposite to this in forward curve vanes the concavity is concave part of the vanes in the direction of the wheel or impeller, so it's called as a forward curve vanes. Okay, so this is about the construction and part of the this particular centrifugal compressor. In the next session we are going to discuss the what is the velocity triangle analysis of